Everyone. Thanks for joining us today. And hope my voice gets a little more clearer. um, we'll do our best, it's cracking a little bit, but we want to talk about harnessing your imagination and why you need to do that. Okay, why is that important? First of all, we have to change our belief that imagination isn't real. Isn't real. It is. It is the doorway to the real world, right? Nothing less than that. You cannot connect with the spirit world. You can't do a psychic reading. You can't get inspiration from above without using your imagination. And you're using it all day, every day. You just don't fully understand it. You don't appreciate it. And chances are you are getting communication from someone on the other side through your imagination. Okay, so it's not like you are in a trance, although you can be. Obviously, it's that things come into your mind. That's how it flows. It's just coming in your mind, an image, an idea, a word, right? Even a feeling. Like, where does that come from? When it comes from out of the blue, it can be from the other side. So, first, I want to encourage you to pay attention to what you spontaneously experience in the moment. Anything that kind of comes out of nowhere, it is likely it's coming from another world or a higher realm, or your loved one in spirit, or your guides, or your angels. Alan's saying even an elemental, maybe, because they exist at a higher frequency. So, first, pay attention. Spirit's telling me that many people get signs and messages all the time, and they just think, oh, that's weird. That's just weird. They just like shrug it off. They just ignore it. They dismiss it. They think they're talking to themselves, when in all likelihood, that's not what's going on. Okay, so I want you to do this experiment. It can be right now if you want, it can be later, whenever you want. But I want you to actively, deliberately talk to yourself. And you know what that's like when you're actually mulling something over and you go, well, I could go here, I could go there, I could do this. I wonder if I should do that. You're having that inner dialogue, right? We all have done that. But this is not how your physical mind normally operates. Okay, I'm not going to say it never talks to you in your mind like out of the blue, but your higher mind, which is connected to all that is, to your soul, to your spirit, that is what it normally does. It's communicating through your mind, through thoughts, through feelings, impulses. Okay, so it's not you, meaning ego, you, physical being, physical mind, you. It's more your higher mind, or it can be someone on the other side. So now I hear Ellen saying, how many people ask for contact, and then when it comes, they just go, yeah. They just go, dismiss it. They just don't know what to do with it. Okay, so if you believe that imagination isn't real, you're going to have to change that first. Okay, you're going to have to undo that, because that's going to filter, right, your experience. It That's how beliefs are. They always filter what we experience in the physical world. So the more clear and neutral your beliefs are, or more positive they are, let's just say that, then the more this is going to work for you. So if you're skeptical, that's a filter. If you're doubtful, that's a filter. If you're fearful, that's a really heavy duty filter that's going to block communication and contact, because Your fear is such a strong emotion. It is what you're putting out, and you're gonna get back more to be afraid of. You are gonna get back what you put out. So you put out, meaning you feel that you trust and believe that you can have spirit communication, you will get that back. If you instead are very skeptical, right, and unsure, you're going to get more of that back. The universe is always responding to you, to whatever you're broadcasting through your beliefs, through the feelings you have, through the thoughts you have, the predominant pattern of thoughts and beliefs. That's what's going to mirror back to you. It cannot not do anything else. It's impossible because it's set up that way. Existence is set up that way to give you whatever you believe, even if your beliefs are detrimental to you, even if your beliefs are negative and limiting. You are loved so unconditionally by creation that it says, all right, here you go. We will love you so much, creation says, we'll give you this and this and this. So choose your beliefs deliberately, not unconsciously. And if you want spirit communication, you got to at least be neutral, at least open-minded, and leave your skepticism aside. And if you've got fear about the paranormal, about the other side, about the unseen world, you're going to have to address that too, because that is a block. It's more than, it's not even, I don't even want to say it's a filter, although it is a filter. It can create for some people like a wall. Okay, so you got to deal with that. A lot of people are carrying a lot of fear, and it could be in their unconscious, like they're not fully aware they have it. I worked with somebody who was like that. She wanted to connect with someone on their side, but when it came right down to it in her session with us, in her Bridge to Heaven session with us, she just couldn't do it because she realized that she was terrified of what she couldn't see. She had been raised with a lot of fear, but she didn't even know that until she tried to connect to the other side. That may be you, that certainly is a lot of people. So you got to deal with that first. Okay, and once you deal with that, let's say, okay, now you've dealt with that. You don't have any fear about what you can't see. You believe that you're safe and you're always protected because you're a soul that's indestructible and you're limitless. And you're the sole creator of your reality through your beliefs and definitions of reality. So once you really understand that, then you can dive into your imagination and use it for what it's meant to be used for. It's how you create your world. Nothing exists here that wasn't first a thought, an idea, a vision, right? In their imagination. It didn't come in fully formed. And by the way, whatever's here in the physical world, every single thing in the physical world originated from the spirit world. You know that saying, as above, so below? Well, it doesn't go as below, so above. Okay, it's as above, meaning that's the source, that's where it originates. As above, so below, it comes here, it's created here, right? We have it here. So it comes through imagination. It comes through a higher realm projecting a thought, an idea for an invention, for a book that somebody channels. Pretty much most books are channeled, unless Alan says unless they're technical books, but novels and certainly writing that's more inspiring, right? Can be channeled. Like the writer is in the flow, and they're collaborating with some spirit. Trust me, they are. They're working with spirit on some level, whether they know it or not. And that's how I wrote our book too. There was a lot of times when I just wasn't sure what I was on my level, what I was going to say, but spirit always knew what they were going to say through me, through us, through me and Alan. So that's how imagination works. I couldn't have written my book if I didn't trust my imagination, what was landing in my mind, and I was allowing it to flow through. I was trusting it and writing it down. Okay, so imagination is the passageway between this world, okay, and and the next. It literally is. Okay, it gives us access to the spirit world. As I just said, it's this passageway through which contact flows back and forth, not just down, but up to. So if you imagine, for example, your loved one, and stay with me today because we're going to do a guided meditation to help you connect and use your imagination. But if you use that, you just think of someone in the spirit world, you're calling to them through that passageway of your imagination. Okay, if you envision them, same thing. You're in a way meeting them halfway because you're setting the scene. Let's say you set the scene and imagine them in the memory you have, right? A memory of them, that hopefully a happy memory that you have of them, and you see them in your mind's eye. Well, you're taking that into that passageway because that's your imagination, and they can meet you there, and they can add to that. They can interact with you in that. Okay, and that is absolutely real. Okay, but if you believe, oh, that can't be real, that was in my imagination, you know, that means you believe that's only what's out here in this world. You believe that's the only reality, and it isn't. This world is actually a projection. In a sense, it's just a bunch of smoke and mirrors because it's a projection of consciousness from above. Remember, as above, so below. So, spirit world projects this world. You as a consciousness exist on the other side in spirit, and you're projecting this life, your existence here. You're projecting it. Your spirit remains in the non-physical. It will always remain in the non-physical. It's only experiencing part of itself in this life. You are actually existing in many other parallel dimensions, realities, whatever you want to call it, parallel lives, all happening concurrently. And you can, in meditation, just through intention of wanting to see a past life, you could tap in again to your imagination and start seeing it and it, feeling like you're there, right? And that isn't necessarily all made up unless you deliberately made it up. Okay, let's be straight here with the difference. When you visualize on purpose, like if I told you, okay, imagine yourself being 5 years old, wearing red galoshes and a yellow raincoat and a matching yellow hat on your head, then you are visualizing it. Okay, yeah, you're using imagination, but you're using it to create an image for yourself, correct? That's your creation. But if you were just sitting there staring out the window and you got the image of that same little girl or boy or whoever with the galoshes and the raincoat, all of a sudden, that's not you making it up. Somehow that image is coming to you from outside of your physical self because your physical mind, your physical self is just the experiencer of reality. It is not the conceiver of reality. It just isn't. It just observes. It just says, oh, I just saw this little kid in a raincoat with red galoshes. Wonder what that means. The physical mind wasn't the one that made that up. You did the first example because I told you to. But that's not the same thing. Think about it. Is it the same thing? It's not the same thing. You're still using your imagination, but in the first example, using deliberately, can't even talk today, you're using it to create a picture, an image, for whatever reason you want to, right? You're just creating it. Maybe you want to feel what that's like. Maybe you want to step into that. Okay. But that's not a message coming from the other side. But the second example, where it just comes in, like you're just sitting there, or you're in meditation, or you're just washing the dishes, and all of a sudden this image comes in, right? That is your imagination accessing some communication, whether that is from your higher mind, whether that's from a guide, whether that's from your loved one. I can't tell you who that's from. You're going to have to discern that, feel into that, but it's not coming from you. Okay? It's just not. So in a bit when I guide you, I want you to just notice whatever you start sensing. Okay? And if you have difficulty going into that, don't worry about it, because as soon as you start like worrying about it, you're actually getting in your own way. So you want to just go with it, and allow yourself to just have whatever experience you have and come back again and do it another time. It's okay. You don't have to get it right the first time. But when you try to do something, you're actually not going to make progress, because that's coming from lack and kind of fear based. Like I really, really want this. Like coming from need and want and strong desire actually pushes what we want away. It just does. And a lot of spiritual teachers will tell you that. It just is. So the more you just allow whatever happens to happen, the easier that'll be for you. Right. But imagination is required to connect with the other side. Trusting what you see, hear, feel, know, taste, smell, that just comes out of the blue is important, right? If you want to connect with someone in spirit, trust whatever you experience in that moment, claim it, believe it, even if you're not 100% sure. It doesn't matter if you're not 100% sure. Just accept it, because that's the only way it can grow stronger. And if it doesn't grow stronger, how are you going to have, a relationship that grows and builds and everything? You have to start by accepting what you experience as real, even if your physical mind is chattering a little bit in the background going, what are you doing? This is really weird. You have to just learn to ignore it and say, it's okay. I got this. Don't worry about it. It's all fine. It's going to be good. And the more you do that, the more it'll relax. Okay. It really will relax. You just get used to that little niggling doubt that you have. It's okay. As long as it's not this full blown doubt and skepticism. Okay. Even when I was talking to Alan in the early days, and he would say, just keep talking, and listening, of course, but keep talking and listening, talking and listening. Don't doubt it. Is it going to be 100% accurate? No. Does anybody in the physical world hear everybody 100% accurate? No. So why do you think it's going to be any different from the spirit world? It can't be. You're a physical being, and he says, only when you completely transition to the other side will you be able to understand more things all at once and get it accurately. While you're in a body, it's going to be a bit of a challenge. Even the greatest mediums and psychics are never going to get anything 100%. And everyone who tells you that, he says they're lying, because there is going to be some amount of distortion, even if it's just environmental, like around them. The energy just is not conducive. Okay, so you, and I mean you, are the best medium for your loved ones through the veil. You just are. There's no competition between you and the world famous medium to communicate with your loved one. Can they talk to them for you? Of course. Some of them, not all of them. Okay. But All that gets you is information. Think about it. They're giving you message, right, about themselves. And once you get past the proof, right? Like they're giving you evidence that okay, you are talking to my Uncle Bill or something. I know you've got him there, you're talking to him. And he's giving you the medium's giving you information. Well, where does that go next? How far can you go with that? A reputable medium will tell you at some point, they'll say, you know what, I can't really give you more than I've already given you. And they cannot be your intermediary like constantly. And all that does is foster their connection with your loved one, not yours. So if you want to have that direct link, the only way to do that is for you to communicate yourself and trust your imagination because they can start putting again the words, the ideas, the visions, the sensations, because spirit communication is multisensory, folks. And mediums, most mediums, are mental mediums, which means that they're communicating mind to mind, or they may be saying things clairvoyantly, but they're communicating mind to mind, and they're not going to have the depth of connection that you can have, especially if you're connecting to a partner, a spouse, where the connection obviously can be more intimate, much more physical, right? Your loved one isn't going to do that with a medium. You wouldn't want them to do that. Your loved one wouldn't want to do that. They'd be like, whoa, that's not appropriate. I want to save that for my partner or even for my child because I want to comfort my child or somebody, right? Or whatever, or another loved one. Your loved one isn't going to, or friend isn't going to come through the medium in that way. He's almost laughing. He goes, that's completely inappropriate, but they can do that for you. But you've got to develop that. You've got to develop that and understand that spirit communication can be subtle. It is often multisensory. So it's not just messages, it can be physical feelings, emotion that comes in. It can be, again, taste, smell, a sound. Okay. Like some people I've worked with in the session would go, "Wow, I hear this high pitched noise," and their loved one is trying to test them and say, "Can you hear this?" And the person might be going, "Oh my God, I really can hear that. Turn it down." But they're communicating in many different ways. Can you see that? And they're not going to do that with a medium. Why would they do that? They just, Alice says, they just won't because that's not the point. So I understand and support people who want to have mediumship readings because they initially just want to know that their loved one really is on the other side, and I get it. But that said, to be honest with you, you got to be really careful nowadays. There's just so many scams. I've been in other groups where I've seen people get scammed by mediums that they thought were genuine, and they got not only financially scammed, but emotionally devastated because the medium told them let's just say, a lot of lies that were very hurtful, such as telling them that they need to let their loved one go and move on with their life or that kind of thing, which almost 98% of the time is not what the spirit is going to say. Okay, but so you got to be really careful financially and emotionally. And and that's why to me mediumship is such a, I don't know, it's kind of a bit of a landmine right now. It was never that way with general psychic readings, which is what Ellen and I used to do, is more psychic readings, because you're not talking about direct spirit communication, right? You're not passing on a message from the spirit. You're just reading the person. So you're the best medium, but you got to start trusting your imagination, whatever's coming through. Right. So I want to get right into leading you into this because we have a little bit of a time crunch today because we're going to, right after this live stream, we're going to be meeting with our group members, our Facebook group, Life and Love After Death. If anyone wants to join our group, feel free. But we're planning a meetup with them, and in that group, in our Facebook group, um, we we do our best to support people there. But it's not easy because yeah, that's the name of our group, Life and Love After Death. And it's not easy because it's just like, just can't respond to everybody's questions. So we try to do the Zoom with everybody. I'm going to try to do this at least once a month. But I'm here live on YouTube every week, okay? Because we're really doing our best to get the word out there that you can connect with your loved one across the veil. Everybody's journey is going to be unique, okay? Because your awakening process is unique to you. Some people are going to be a little further ahead. It could be because they came in more tuned in to the other side. Okay, other people are going to work harder, have to work harder at it. That's just kind of how it is. That's just life. But everybody is a soul. And if you're watching us now, you're living at the time of the awakening. And this means it is possible for you to awaken, right? But your process is going to be unique to you. So in our academy group, which is where we really mentor people and coach people, which is open right now. We have a special right now, $20 off the academy. Join us for a year for $177 instead of $197. But in there, when we work with people on a regular basis, a weekly basis, go deeper, really coach them, talk to them. It is about getting rid of those limiting beliefs and beginning to trust more and really explore and understand who you are, who you truly are. Because you might think you know who you truly are, but chances are you don't completely, because you're probably carrying around a lot of limiting beliefs that you took on from your parents, teachers, friends, society, other authority figures. And if you have a lot of limiting beliefs, then it's virtually impossible for you to live as you truly are, because those beliefs, again, are filters. They're defining your reality. So if you're stuck in life, if you're struggling in any way in your life, it is evidence that you've got some limiting beliefs, or life would be flowing more for you. That is how you can tell when you're more your authentic self. Not that you won't ever have problems, because you'll have challenges, but life just seems to be more flowing. There's more synchronicity. These coincidences that are not coincidences happen, and you begin to realize, wow, my life, there is definitely a flow to it. I don't have to be making things happen, right? I can be allowing things to happen and be guided as to what to do, if anything, in the moment. So if you're not living like that, then you definitely have a belief work to unpack, definitely. And that's one of the things we do in the academy, because it's about raising our vibration to connect with them. It's not just about being psychic. I've met too many people who are very psychic who still struggle with grief because they haven't dealt with those limiting beliefs. They haven't dealt with their fears. They haven't dealt with their trauma. They haven't done the inner work. And so their vibration, even though they're very psychic, is actually low, okay? Because you're maybe in anger and resentment or fear. That keeps your vibration down here. You've got to let go of that. You have to be more in a state of love, peace, at least neutrality. And over the years, the countless number of psychics I've met, very few of them were in this more highly evolved state. They're all learning. I wasn't not judging anybody, but I'm just here to tell you that somebody being profoundly psychic is not necessarily evolved. It could be. We want you to be evolved first And then your psychic abilities, which by the way you already have, will just unfold. They'll just blossom because that's who you are anyway. You don't need to take classes unless you really feel guided to, then by all the means, go do it, because that means that's the next step for you. But don't choose it with your logical mind. That's what most people are doing, saying, I want to connect with my loved one. Logical mind's going, okay, we take a class. Okay. When higher mind might be telling you something else that is easier, like maybe it's going to tell you to just go meditate or learn how to channel. That was how I connected with the spirit world, was learning how to channel. And that was after just one weekend workshop, I was off and running. And you can be too. You don't have to take these long, involved workshops, okay, unless you feel guided to. So let's get you connected with your imagination. All right? Sound good? So get comfortable wherever you are. If you're driving, don't listen to me. I've been known to put people into trance states. You don't want to be listening to me if you are driving or operating machinery of any kind. You want to like turn this off, come back, watch it later. Because I'm calling in Alan, I'm calling in our spirit team, I'm calling in the angelic realm, which I do work with. So you might already be starting to feel their presence. We're calling in your spirit team of guides and angels, which are always with you. Even whether you're aware of it or not, they're always there. So we're calling them in, and I just want you to get comfortable wherever you are. All right. If possible, this isn't required, but do this if it feels right to you. Try putting your feet on the ground. And if you're not able to do that, that's fine too. But you can come back and do it the other way, right? You can do it later and say, okay, today I'm going to just keep my feet up. Next time I come back, I'll put my feet on the ground. Whatever you want to do, fine. And I'd like you to close your eyes and set the intention that you're going to relax. And I want you to let go of any tension you feel in your neck. Say the word mentally to yourself, relax. Send that word to your neck. Tell it to relax. Relax. Next, tell your shoulders to relax and let them drop. Just let go of the tension. And relax, relax. Next, bring your attention to your arms and let them just drop at your side. Be sure your arms are uncrossed. Just let them relax. Let go of any tightness, tension. Just let it go. Say relax. Your arms and your hands. Unclench your hands if you were clenching them. Next, go into your chest area and let it relax. Relax. Open your heart. Relax. Bring your awareness now to your stomach area. And again, say the word relax. Relax. And feel your stomach just easing up. Yeah, let your abdomen rise and fall easily, effortlessly. Now bring your awareness to your thighs. Relax your thighs. Relax your knees. Relax your legs. And when you get to your ankles, maybe rotate them a little bit to relax and unkink your ankles. Oh, that's good. Relax, relax. Take a deep breath in. You exhale. Just relax even deeper. Once again, letting go of any stress, tension, any worries, any cares. Just let them fall away. And imagine, see, or feel above you, about 6 inches above you, maybe 12. I'll let it be up to you. Imagine a beautiful golden sun, this radiant golden sun. Imagine this beautiful golden sun is beaming down its energy, pouring down over your head. Let this light pour over you through your aura like golden honey. Feel the warmth of that golden honey light as it pours through your energy field, pours over your body, clearing away any energies that don't belong to you, any worries, any cares, any fear. Just let it all go. Feel how wonderful it feels to just bask in this golden light, be bathed by the sun's energy. And imagine this energy is love. The light is love. Love is light. So feel into the love that is all around you. The love that created you. The love that you can never cease to be. And let this light, let this love open your heart even wider and let it relax you even more. Take a breath in and breathe in that light through your lungs and let that light fill you up inside with every breath that you take. Breathe in light. And you exhale energies that no longer serve you. So feel the love that you're bathing in, that's all around you, that's beaming to you and from you. For now, you're going to send your love to the spirit world, to those that you love there. Whether that's a family member, partner, spouse, a friend, or another relative, just send your love using your imagination, which is the passageway to the afterlife. Send your love up, up to them. And as you do, see, feel, or imagine that love being returned to you now, amplified, because what you put out is what you get back. When you broadcast love, you receive love in return. And now, in this state of deep relaxation, basking in unconditional love, I'd like you to just open your mind and your heart to connecting with someone on the other side. It doesn't have to be a loved one, it could be a guide, it could be anyone that's non physical. But set the intention to connect with them. And see if you can feel yourself or imagine yourself in this passageway, maybe standing on the threshold of a doorway into the afterlife. Whatever imagery comes to you, go with it. Maybe you just know you're there on the threshold of the spirit world. Feel the love that is there, the peace that is there, the joy that's there. Take that in. Absorb this experience. Know that it is real. And whenever you're ready, make the decision, if you want to step into the afterlife, into this world. Or you can just remain in the passageway. You have the right and the choice, free will choice to do whatever you choose to do. You can take your time. There's no rush in any of this, for you have eternity. So, whenever and if ever you're ready, just connect, go through the veil, and be with your loved one in whatever place you choose to be. Maybe it's in a place that's special for the two of you. Maybe it's on a mountaintop. Maybe it's in a park. Maybe it's by a river. Maybe it's by the ocean. Maybe it's in a beautiful garden of your own creation. You can imagine whatever you want to imagine, knowing that your loved one will meet you there. Trust this completely. Know that it is real. Let your imagination just create whatever feels good, right, and true to you. It doesn't matter what you see in your mind. All that matters is that it feels good to you. So follow your joy, follow your bliss. Know that when you do, you are being true to yourself, to the real you, to the authentic you. And doing that leads you right to your loved one on the other side. So just experience whatever you experience. And don't be afraid to ask questions. For this experience is co-created, it's interactive, it is not one-sided. to break you back. I just want you to come back slowly. Take your time and know that you can revisit this video again and again. When you make contact, I would suggest that you just close your computer, take off your headphones or whatever if you're listening that way, and just be in the experience. Because you don't have to come back like I'm bringing you back now. You can just be in that state for as long as you like. Okay. And if you struggled with this, that's okay. Just come back and do it again. Because our promise to you is every time you watch any of our videos, Ellen and I both support you and help you to hold the space for you and your loved ones on the other side to make contact. That's the work that we're here to do, right? So it's all right wherever you're at. It's perfect. Okay, you can always go deeper next time. You will, because you're always changing. You can't help but change. Again, bring yourself back just slowly. Breathe in, breathe out, and ground yourself using the power of your intention. Just ground yourself to the earth. See roots going down through the base of your spine. Really anchor yourself to Mother Earth. Give gratitude to the earth. Give gratitude to your loved ones and your spirit team. Right. And remember that imagination is the doorway, the passageway, the conduit to the other side. If you can imagine your loved one, they'll step into that vision that you hold, and next thing you know, you see something else. You're someplace else because they've done what I call hijacking. They kind of come in and go, well, I want you to look at this now. I want you to look at that now. But it starts with us imagining, because that means we're lifting up, we're raising ourselves halfway, right? We're going into the passageway using our imagination. So it makes it easier for them to meet us halfway in that passageway. Don't make them do all the work, or you will simply delay your reunion through the video. Use your imagination for what it was created for, to communicate with the other side, like you talking to them talking to you, again, through either words, messages, visions, shapes, colors, ideas, like whatever. Okay, if you set aside time to commune with them on a regular basis, you can do this yourself. You don't need anybody. You don't need mediumship classes. You don't even need us, to be honest with you. In fact, we hope you won't, that you'll get everything you need and just say, thanks, Pam and Alan, and thanks, everybody else. I'm on my way. Spirit told me when I started this journey of teaching others over 35 years ago, they said, your job, Pam, is to put yourself out of a job. I said, what do you mean? They go, you're to teach people to do what you do, because everyone is meant to awaken. I had no clue about that in 1987. I didn't even know anything about the ascension in 1987, but they said, You're here to put yourself out of a job. You're here to teach people how to do what you do because you're all one, right? So if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please do. If you still watch to the end, and join our Facebook group too. If you're a spiritual seeker or you're somebody who wants to communicate with someone on the other side, you want to be around other people who are doing that, want to be inspired and supported by them and by us. Please, absolutely, join us. And if you want to join our academy, that's the way you find it is through our website, supernaturallove.com, because our special for the month ends on September 30th. All right. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. And we got to get out of here because we've got a Zoom meeting to lead with our group members, with our Life and Love After Death members. So, if you guys are watching us from the group, we'll see you over there, right? You got the Zoom link, right? It's on Facebook in the group. So go grab it and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Till next time, everybody.